Okay, so moving on to the skill part of your lesson today, I'm going to need you to do an exercise, and I'm also going to need you to go and collect some different household items, okay? Each of the items that you collect are going to represent a different part of the cardiovascular system, and we're going to build our own cardiovascular system. As well as that, you are going to do exercises that represent what that part does. So to give you an example, the first part, I want you to know about air. Now in the air, there are four main components. There is oxygen, there is carbon dioxide, there is nitrogen, and there is water vapour. So this is what I would like you to do. For 1 minute, you are going to jog on the spot, but you are going to collect as many different air particles as you can. So you can collect them from anywhere in front of you, or behind you, or to the side of you. But for 1 minute, you need to collect as many of those different air particles as you can. 1 minute, your time starts now. Okay, good job. So now you've collected the air particles, we now need to know where the air particles go. So the air particles enter through what's called our nasal cavity, through our nose and through our mouth. So you guys have got to go and do a challenge for me. You have 1 minute to go and collect me a toilet roll. Go. Okay, good job. So hopefully you guys collected yourself a toilet roll. The toilet roll is to represent your nasal cavity. Now your nasal cavity is your nose and your mouth. This is where we absorb the air, so the oxygen, the nitrogen, the carbon dioxide and water vapour, and we take it into our body. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to place your toilet roll to the side, and we're going to do an exercise to represent the nasal cavity, okay? We're going to represent air going in and air going out. So in your box, I would like you to travel outside your box and in your box, outside your box and in your box, outside your box and in your box. Now remember your determination value. You're going to work for 1 minute. Let's see if you can push yourself as hard as you can. Your in and out is to represent air going out, blowing out my nose and my mouth, and air coming back in through my nasal cavity. Your 1 minute starts now. Okay, good job. I hope you guys are working hard when you're doing those exercises. Remember that determination value. All right, so next challenge. So far you've collected me a toilet roll. The next thing I would like you to get me is something that is long and thin. You have 1 minute to go and collect it. Your time starts now. Okay, good work. I don't know what you guys collected, but I managed to get a rolling pin. Now my rolling pin is long and my rolling pin is quite thin, okay? This is to represent your trachea. Now your trachea is where the air gets from your nasal cavity, from your nose and your mouth, and how it travels down into your lungs. Now for our trachea, we need to represent things going up and down. So this is what I would like you to do. I would like you to place whatever you've got that is long and thin next to your toilet roll, with your toilet roll sticking out to the side and with your trachea pointing down to the bottom. And to represent that, we're going to get up and down, like the air travelling up and down our trachea. Now the common name for your trachea is your windpipe, but the correct name and the name that we would like you to use is your trachea, okay? All right. This is your exercise. You guys need to get up as if you're blowing the air out, and then you need to get down onto your belly. Up, blow the air out, down onto your belly. So it's out, exhale it, and in, inhale it. Up and down, coming in through your nose and your mouth, and down the trachea. You guys have 1 minute. Remember that determination value. Your time starts now. Okay, well done. So far we have learned that the air particles that are floating around us enter through our nasal cavity, in through our nose and in through our mouth. Once they get into our nasal cavity, they then have traveled down our trachea to access our lungs. Now in our lungs we have something called our bronchus. Now our bronchus is known as our right bronchi and our left bronchi, but together they are called our bronchus. Okay, now for you guys to represent your bronchus, I would like you to go and collect me a coat hanger. You've got 1 minute, your time starts now. Okay, good job. Hopefully you guys have collected yourself a coat hanger. Now let's think about what we've done so far. The air has came in through our nose and our mouth. It has travelled down our trachea where it has got to our bronchus. Now the reason our bronchus splits to the left and splits to the right is because we have a right lung and a left lung. So when the air gets to the bottom of our trachea, it has to split into those two lungs. So we need to split left and right. So what I would like to do is take your coat hanger. I would like you to place your coat hanger at the bottom of the thing that you had that was long and thin, at the bottom of your trachea. And then we're going to do an exercise to represent the right bronchus, the left bronchus, the right bronchus, the left bronchus. So you're going to place your hands on the floor. You're going to put 2 feet together behind you, and then you're going to jump left, together, right, together. Left, together, right, together. You are representing the air splitting into our right lung and our left lung. You guys have 1 minute. Remember that determination value. Your time starts now. How it works so far. So far we have been air particles that have travelled in through our nasal cavity, in through our nose and our mouth, down our trachea, and now split into our lungs via our bronchus. Now our bronchus, our right and left bronchi, have little bronchioles. They're like the twigs on the branches. And the bronchioles help us to sort the air out and help us dissolve it down a little bit further so we can start to get those air particles into our bloodstream. Now what I would like you to do for this one is I would like you to go and collect me 4 spoons. Your time starts now. Okay, good job. Hopefully you guys have now collected 4 spoons. The 4 spoons are to represent the bronchioles. Now the bronchioles are attached to our right and our left bronchus in our lungs, and it's where we start to squeeze the air down a little bit further to pull out the particles that we need. So remember our bronchus? We've then got our bronchioles that are attached, and we're starting to squeeze the air down our bronchioles to pull out the particles that we need. Now what I would like you to do with your spoons is place 2 on one side of the coat hanger and 2 on the other side of the coat hanger. And our action to represent the bronchioles is we're going to start to sort it out. So I want you to take the nitrogen around this one, and take the oxygen around this one, and take the carbon dioxide around here, and oxygen and nitrogen, and maybe some water vapour over this side. So you have 1 minute to show me nice quick feet moving in and around the different particles here. We're sorting it out in our lungs to pull out the parts that we need. Your 1 minute starts now. Okay, great job. I hope you guys are showing that determination value, and I'm hoping you're working as hard as you can on each of these stations. All right, moving on to the next part. Your next challenge, I need you to go and find me a tea bag. You have 1 minute. Go. So you should have collected me a tea bag. A tea bag is to represent the alveoli. Now the alveoli are what also known as magical air sacs. The reason they're called magical air sacs is because they're able to take the particles from the air and they allow them to pass through them and get them into the bloodstream. So the oxygen that's just filtered down through our lungs can now pass through our alveoli into our bloodstream. They help gaseous exchange take place. So to represent that, I need you to do me a job. First thing I need you to do is place your tea bag on one of the spoons. And then I need you to collect your trousers and stretch your trousers out. And I need you to stand on one side of the trousers, and this is going to represent the air. And you're going to jump into the blood, through the alveoli, into the air. So it's air to blood, blood to air, air to blood, blood to air, and you're passing through the alveoli. Gaseous exchange is taking place. You have 1 minute and your time starts now. Great work so far. Hopefully you guys are starting to feel a little bit out of breath now, and hopefully you guys have been working hard, working on that cardiovascular system. All right, you can pick up your trousers again and scrunch them back into a ball and put them back into the corner to make your square again. And I have a new challenge for you. We've just got the air from our lungs and we've transported it now into our bloodstream. So we've just worked on the cardiorespiratory system, respiratory for how we breathe, how we respirate. And now we're into the cardiovascular system. Vascular is to do with our veins and our arteries and our capillaries. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a second. I need you to go and collect me 2 pairs of socks that are different colours. Your time starts now. Okay, good work, well done. I got 2 pairs of socks, I got a blue pair and I got a red pair. Now these are to represent our blood vessels. Now that we have got the air or the oxygen into our bloodstream, we want to get it to our heart. And we're going to use our blood vessels to transport it to the heart. So the red socks are to represent oxygenated blood. That means they are rich in oxygen. There's lots of oxygen in the blood if they're the red ones. And the blue ones are to represent deoxygenated blood. That is to represent more carbon dioxide. This is what I would like you to do. I would like you to put a red and a blue sock together and a blue and a red sock together. Now yours might be different colours. And I would like you to take them from both sides of our lungs and almost join them in the middle. So I'm going to put one set here and one set here and almost join them in the middle, leaving a space there. I wonder what that space might be for. And then I want you to represent the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. So this is the way you're going to work. You're going to move from the back of your square with nice high knees to represent oxygen, 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 oxygen. And when you get to the front of the square, you're going to work backwards by kicking your bottom to represent carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide. So it's oxygen, 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 carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide. Okay? You have 1 minute to work forwards and backwards to represent the blood vessels transporting the oxygen and the carbon dioxide to and from our heart. Your time starts now. Okay, good work so far. Quick recap. Air has come in through our nasal cavity and our nose and our mouth. It is travelled down our trachea, down our windpipe, where it is then split using our bronchus, our right bronchi and our left bronchi. We've then tried to sort it out in our bronchioles, our spoons, and it's got to our magical air sacs, our tea bag, our alveolis. From there, we managed to get the air from the air through our alveoli into the bloodstream, and our blood vessels have just transported the oxygenated blood to where it wants to go. On the way out, it will transport the deoxygenated blood. Now where it wants to go is to the heart. It wants to go to the heart so we can pump it around our body to the areas that need it most. I need you to go and get me something that is round. You've got 1 minute. Go. Okay, hopefully you got something that is round. I managed to get a coaster, and the reason I got a coaster is because I wanted to realise how big your heart is. If you clench your fist like this, that is about the size of your heart. Now adults tend to have bigger hands, so they tend to have bigger hearts, and children, you would have smaller hands, so you tend to have smaller hearts. Now your heart is what pumps the blood around the body. If your heart stops working, we die. So it's very important that we keep our heart pumping, and it's very important that it keeps pumping the blood to the muscles and to the parts of the body that need it. To represent our heart, we are going to do some squats. So you're going to place your hands out in front of you, and you're going to bend down to the floor, trying to get your bottom as close to the floor as you can. Before we do that, we need to place our heart in our cardiovascular system where our blood vessels meet it. Is that okay? All right, get ready for your squats. Your 1 minute starts now. Super work so far, Westy. Let's keep it going. 2 more stations to go. For the next station, I need you to go and collect me 2 shoes that are different. Your time starts now. Go. Okay, well done. Hopefully you collected 2 shoes that are different. I've got a white shoe and I've got a black shoe. Now these shoes are designed to represent your blood vessels. You have veins and you have arteries, and then you have some little mini ones called capillaries. Now, veins and arteries have two different jobs. Arteries take your oxygenated blood and they take it away from the heart. They take the blood that's rich in oxygen and they take it away from the heart to give us energy. Veins, they bring the blood back to the heart. Now that doesn't have as much oxygen in it, that has more carbon dioxide in it, it's rich in carbon dioxide. So we have oxygenated blood, arteries, taking it away from the heart, and then we have veins, deoxygenated blood, bringing it back to the heart. So I'd like to take your shoes and I would like to place one on one side of the heart, ready to take the oxygenated blood away, and the other one just a little bit further away, which is going to represent the other part of our body. The exercise that we're going to do for this is the same as what we did before, but this time we're going to do it sideways. So we're going to do high knees, taking the blood to the muscles, and then we're going to do heel flicks, taking the blood away from the muscles. To the muscles, oxygenated, away from the muscles, deoxygenated. To the muscles, arteries, away from the muscles, veins. You guys have got 1 minute to represent the blood vessels transporting the oxygen to the muscles and the carbon dioxide away from the muscles. Your time starts now. Okay, super work. You have one more station to go. For the last station, I would like you to go and collect me one book and one pen or pencil. Go. Okay, great job. Hopefully you guys got a book and hopefully you guys got a pen or a pencil. The book and the pen or the pencil are designed to represent the whole of our body. Now the whole of our body works, and the whole of our body works at different times. Sometimes I'm asleep but I still need to breathe, so I need blood to pump to my lungs and the muscles that I need to breathe. Sometimes I'm exercising and I need blood to pump to the muscles that are exercising. Sometimes I might have ate my toast or ate my breakfast in the morning, and without knowing it, I need to churn up all of that food in my intestine to help get rid of it and to help to pull nutrients out of it. So I always need the blood to be pumping around my body to provide me with some energy. Now your workbook is designed to represent the work that your blood is going to have to do to help produce your energy. I would like you to place your workbook by your bottom shoe and your pen by your bottom shoe. And to represent that, we've got to do a whole body workout. So for this one, we're going to sit down on the floor in a sit-up position. When we go down to do a sit-up, we're going to do 4 leg kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to sit up and do 4 boxing punches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's down, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to do that for 1 minute and your whole body needs to exercise. Are you ready? Your time starts now. Okay, great work everybody. So far you have done 10 different stations to represent 10 different components of the cardiovascular and of the cardiorespiratory system. Hopefully by now you can remember some of those names. As well as that, you've been running all around your house to go and collect the different components, whether it's a toilet roll or whether it was spoons to represent the nasal cavity or to represent the bronchioles. I'm hoping by now you know the pathway of air through the body, and you also can remember some of those key components: nose and mouth, trachea, bronchus, bronchioles, alveoli, blood vessels, heart, blood vessels, body. And hopefully you can remember that. Now what I'd like to do now is I'd like to have a quick break. This is your chance to have a drink. You've worked hard so far. Well done.